What's up, guys? My name is Ben Pollock. I'm a professional powerlifter on my way, hopefully, to becoming a professional bodybuilder. And over the next 9 weeks, I'm going to take you through my prep with Shelby Starnes and Joe Bennett as I train for the USA Championships in Las Vegas on July 31st. I'm pretty excited about this one. I'm really grateful to my sponsor, True Nutrition. These guys have been, a big part of my training career since I very first started. If you guys don't know a lot about the company, it's founded by Dante Trudell, who's also the founder of the dog crap training method. When I first started out, this was back in 2001, man, I really looked up to guys like that. I always wanted to be one of the thick, strong, super heavyweight bodybuilders that Dante trained and that Dante, helped along their careers. So the fact that I'm here now and in a position where I can, contribute to the company, represent the company, and maybe help you guys out too, that really means the world to me. So, in fact, the whole reason that I am doing bodybuilding is because I want to be the best strength coach that I can be. I want to not only be able to coach the training, I want to be able to coach the nutrition, the mobility, the outside, outside the gym life type of stuff. So, the best way, in my opinion, to teach is to lead by example. So that's the goal of this series. Over the next 9 weeks, I'm really going to be documenting as much of my training, as much of my lifestyle as possible, so you guys can get a feel for what it's actually like going through a pretty intense prep. If you guys are familiar with my coaches, Shelby Starnes usually works with women, but he's known for getting his competitors in phenomenal condition. So I know it's going to be a beast. I can already tell, we're about a week and a half into the diet, and I can already tell this is going to be a tough one, and I'm looking forward to the challenge. And Joe Bennett, he's coached Ben Paluski, he's coached Hunter Labrada, he's coached Terrence Ruffin, a whole handful of Olympians. So to be able to train one-on-one with him in Tampa, at his private gym at MI40 with other Olympians, it's really an honor. So I'm excited about that. I want to spend this first episode talking a little bit about the general overview, my career, prior to this, and how I've kind of structured my prep. Because after USA's, July 31st, I then start a 6-week powerlifting prep to compete at the Pioneer Open in Coleman, Texas. So balancing those two, as far as I know, not something that's been done before. There have been other guys that have dabbled in both powerlifting and bodybuilding, even excelled at both, but not necessarily at the same time. So again, a really exciting opportunity for me, and hopefully a really exciting opportunity for you as well. So the first thing I want to talk about is my training philosophy. So maybe some of you guys have followed me before. If not, throughout my entire powerlifting career, it was all about intensity. Because I had those, foundational years spent using the dog crap method or very similar methods, high intensity training methods, I was all about one set to failure. And that got me a long, long way. I won't lie. I think learning to work hard in the gym is the absolute most important thing you can do for your success. But I reached a point where I was so strong that I started to get hurt training that way. And, if you do follow Dante, one of the things that he says to kind of deal with this is to increase the rep range. So increasing reps is a way of increasing volume. You have two kind of main variables that go into your training: intensity, which is how heavy the weight is you're lifting, and volume, which is, how many sets and reps you're doing. So high reps are one answer, multiple sets are another answer. For me, the answer was multiple more frequency, multiple stimuli throughout the week. So what I have found over the past 2 years, when I'm specifically focusing on bodybuilding, to both increase my strength and increase my size without getting hurt, without getting beat up, it's been doing multiple sessions throughout the day. So one thing you can expect from this series is to see a whole lot of training. I'm going to be training with Joe Bennett 5 times a week. That's going to be in the morning. And then in the afternoons, I'm going to be training with my strength training partner, Taylor Gone. We're going to be doing that in the evenings. That'll be, for me, it'll be 3 times a week. Taylor probably a little bit more often because he's focused on strength. But you get to see both sides of the story. You get to see how I kind of combine them and how I manage my fatigue levels, my energy levels, especially as the diet progresses. This is, in my opinion, kind of the secret to balancing out your life, your goals, whatever it is that you're trying to get out of training. It's breaking it up into smaller, manageable chunks, whatever that means. whether it means breaking your meals up into smaller chunks throughout the day, whether it means breaking your diet up into smaller chunks throughout the day. I find that compartmentalizing is extremely, extremely important because that allows you to have more control over the iterative process. If this sounds a little bit complicated, don't stress. I'm going to get into it more as we go through the series, but I want to give you a general feel for what you can expect, which is a whole lot of repetition, because that's what drives progress. And on that note, I want to apologize to a lot of people who have been following me, because I think that when I started out in bodybuilding, I kind of came in a little bit arrogant in terms of my training mentality. I thought that I really knew all there was to know about training, whether it dealt with strength, whether it dealt with hypertrophy, whether it dealt with technique. And that's not the case. When you're training for different things, the training modalities that you need, the means and methods, they can vary widely. And that's another thing that you can expect to see from this series, is the difference in training for strength, training for hypertrophy, training to develop your mobility, training to develop your endurance, whatever the case may be. These are some pretty cool insights. I don't think I've seen them anywhere before. If I have, I don't remember them. So hopefully you enjoy that. Hopefully you enjoy kind of seeing that. And then from the diet perspective, again, I am blessed to have a very, very fast metabolism. So during my powerlifting years, I didn't have to pay all that much attention to diet. And I thought that it would be pretty similarly easy when it came to bodybuilding. And I'll be honest, for majority of the year it is. My off season, I don't have to do a lot of cardio. I have room to eat a lot of calories. Even in the early stages of prep, it's the same sort of deal. But what I found is that maintaining the balance between being extremely lean while keeping your muscles extremely full, which means full of glycogen, they look pumped up, they look big and thick, and while continuing to lose body fat, maintain strength, it's an extremely difficult balance. One reason that I hire a prep coach, in addition to not knowing all the pieces myself, is that if you're doing it for yourself, it's really easy to get in your head. And I'm sure you'll see that as we go through prep. I'm going to be honest with you guys about my check-in pictures, my performance in the gym, all of that. And I'm sure that you'll be able to tell when I'm starting to get stressed out, because when you're in the thick of things, it's really hard to take a step back. It's hard to be objective. That's part of the purpose of having a coach, part of the reasons you need a coach, and part of the reason I'm doing this, right? I want to be able to have that mentality so that when the guys come to me for advice, I've been there. I know what it's like. I'm able to, not just sympathize, but empathize. I think that's an extremely overlooked part of strength coaching, and one that I really, really want to learn to master. So I think that covers that for the introductory episode. I don't want these things to get too long. I know it can be overwhelming. Remember what I said, breaking things up into chunks. What I do want to hear from y'all is, what do you want to see from me specifically, right? Because I'm going to try and cover everything, but you can only go into so much detail with these short videos. So tell me what's most important to you, what you can learn the most from, and I'm going to do my absolute best to make sure that I cover that as we progress through these next 9 weeks. I'm in Grand Rapids right now. Today is Sunday, May 30th. Tomorrow is Memorial Day. I'm going to hit my last heavy deadlift of this training cycle until I compete for bodybuilding. And then on Tuesday morning, bright and early, 4 a.m., I fly out to Tampa. And from then on, it's grind time. I'll be training, like I mentioned, with Joe Bennett, my training partner, Taylor Gone, fellow True Nutrition athlete, Derek Oslin, 212 Olympian. Hopefully training with Derek Lunsford, another 212 Olympian. And a lot of other really strong, really impressive guys and girls out there in Tampa. So I'm really looking forward to this. I hope you are as well. And no matter what, remember my motto: think strong and train hard.